one of the reasons why we were really late into the party on DMS, sorry,
acidic shampoo.
Acidic shampoo, effectively, was one of my concerns when we were looking at a lot of the acidic shampoos in the market is that the runoff areas on cars are typically the areas that you start getting a lot of problems, i.e. underneath the wheel arch where the arch liner joins onto the chassis of the car, not the chassis, the fender, as you would call it, the metal fender. You get a lot of dirt trapped in there, and over time, if that dirt stays there and it gets wet, you start getting rust. You start adding acidic detergents in there as well. You can accelerate that process indefinitely. Typically, acids accelerate oxidation, rust, effectively, just in general. Another concern that I had is the runoff areas that you get going down door cards and rain channels from various vehicles, where you have a lot of detergents that will sit in the bottom of the door card, and if your drainage tunnels at the bottom of the door cards aren't cleared away and you're constantly using these acidic shampoos all the time, that may cause problems. Fast forward many years later, and when we were developing our acidic shampoo, we made sure that we had corrosion inhibitors in there to negate those side effects that I was worried about. Another aspect of it is that we learned a lot from our water spot remover. We actually benchmarked our water spot remover quite heavily to what we deemed at the time as some of the best water spot removers on the market. And until we finished that project and our learning from that project completed, then we moved to developing DMS. So where DMS fits into the garage therapy framework and the detailing process for us is that if you're in an area where you get a lot of rainfall, your water's really poor quality. So I saw some people say they've got TDS of like 500, 400 to 500 TDS.
Pretty common.
And and you need to soften your water during the wash, or declog your protection more frequently than other areas. So as an example, someone like Ryan, where he lives in the desert, he's not going to need to declog his car as often as someone who lives in, let's say, New York or Pennsylvania or somewhere like that. So DMS is fantastic for shoehorning it into a monthly maintenance clean or every 6 weeks, where you'd use DMS as your contact shampoo, and you can use it as your your snow foam as well, depending on the level of dirt that you've got on there. So how would you use it? Is you'd use it in a bucket, but what I like to do is I use it in a bucket and I will foam it on as well, because it's a great sort of foaming soap on there. And the longer you leave DMS to dwell on the surface, the more effective it's going to be at breaking down those minerals and any mild water spots that you've got.
If I was going to try GT for the first time, top 3, wash, clay, and seal a car. This is a different question. Go ahead, man.
I'm not a fan of wash, clay, seal, because I don't think you should be rubbing anything on your car that would potentially induce marring on there. And I'm not convinced that claying, whether the clay is a new technology of clay or not, is not marring the paint. That may be controversial, but that's my.
I don't think it's controversial. Opinion. Larry NYC have always preached for like the last God knows how many years that he calls claying a vehicle an emergency operation. It's emergency. It's like going to the hospital for an operation. He's always stated that in all of his videos, that claying is a last resort. And then obviously following up with a polishing step. So if it's good enough for Larry, it's good enough for me. when it comes to a business and you're running a business, then a wash, clay and seal, I understand where it comes from a business perspective, that you want to wash the car and then clay it and seal it up, right? I get it, because you're basically, the paint looks a lot cleaner when it's decontamination free than it is when it's contaminated, basically. So that I can see where this probably came from, was claying a car looks a lot better, because 9 times out of 10, a customer can someone see their car when it's been clayed and they go, "Oh my God, have you finished it? It looks great." And you go, "No, it's just been decontaminated," basically. And that's, again, why Decon shampoo is such an important part.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, Jonny. It's the wash, clay, seal, from my perspective, is for people that don't really know what detailing is, and they're not aware of what swirls are, and they're not, they just want their car to look shiny.
Correct.
And feel
they don't see the value in a paint correction, paying for that much for that, or coating.
Exactly. Where I think I have an issue with it is when let's be truthful here. This is a detailing orientated channel, right? You're talking about high-end, high-level detailing. So that shouldn't really come into the equation. What wash, clay, seal is more of a valeting mass
fast
environment, right?
Yeah. See, I do a bunch of mobiles, so I love a good wash, clay, seal.